Rodney King, Oscar Grant, Amadou Diallo. These are just three of the many names that come to mind when thinking about police brutality, abuse of power, and racial profiling. One of the most recent cases of police brutality has occurred in Los Angeles and involves the killing of Manuel Jimenez, a Guatemalan immigrant and father of three, who was shot twice in the head by a member of the LAPD. There has been much debate around whether or not Jimenez was holding a knife at the time of the killing, but it is most likely that he was not holding a weapon of any sort, and the officer who killed him is in the wrong. Rodney King is the man whose beatdown by the LAPD officers in 1991 was caught on video and subsequently seen by millions, revealing the unjust criminal actions of the four officers involved. The acquittal of those officers sparked the 1992 Los Angeles riots, which resulted in an estimated 53 deaths, over 2,300 injuries, more than 7,000 fires, and nearly $1 billion in financial losses. Oscar Grant was the young, unarmed man who was shot and killed by a Bay Area rapid transit police officer in Oakland, California on New Year's Day, 2009. Responding to the reports of a fight, officers detained Oscar Grant and several other passengers. As multiple digital video and cell phone cameras filmed, one officer stood, drew his gun, and shot Grant in the back. Grant was pronounced dead the next morning. The footage was distributed to media outlets and to various websites, where it was watched hundreds of thousands of times, and the following days saw both peaceful and violent protests. In July of 2010, the officer who killed Grant, Johannes Messerly, was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter and not guilty of second-degree murder involuntary manslaughter. In both these cases, we have seen the benefits of technology and the fact that video cameras are getting smaller, cheaper, and more readily available. Incidents of police brutality and misconduct have been and will continue to be caught on video. While in the past it was simply the word of an alleged criminal against that of a police officer, these new circumstances began leveling the playing field to some extent, but it seems that despite this new means of providing concrete evidence to the trials of such cases, the officers are still getting away with murder. And such is the case of Amadou Diallo, the 23-year-old Guinean immigrant living in New York City, who was shot and killed on February 4th, 1999 by 4 NYPD officers. The officers fired a total of 41 rounds at the unarmed man, and all 4 officers were later acquitted of the crime. They said they thought Diallo matched the description of a now-captured serial rapist and approached him. As the officers advanced, Diallo moved quickly up the steps to his apartment building's doorway where the porch light bulb was out and reached into his jacket, withdrawing his wallet. The lead officer then tripped over the curb, causing him to fire a round from his pistol into the pavement and fall. The officers then fired 41 shots, hitting Diallo 19 times and killing him. The post-shooting investigation found no weapons on Diallo's body, only his wallet.
41 shots.
This incident has resulted in nationwide changes to police training policy, where they now place a trigger finger on the frame of the pistol outside of the trigger guard. Diallo's death and the verdict sparked massive demonstrations against police brutality and racial profiling, resulting in more than 1,700 arrests over the course of many weeks. Those arrested in the daily protests at the entrance of One Police Plaza came from all walks of life and included former NYPD officers, former Mayor David Dinkins, Congressman Charlie Rangel and Gregory Meeks, the Reverends Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, New York State Assemblyman Ruben Diaz Jr., actress Susan Sarandon, and more than a dozen rabbis and other clergy, as well as numerous other federal, state, and local politicians. Charges against the protesters were later dropped. The incident also inspired Bruce Springsteen to write the song titled American Skin, 41 Shots, which contained the lyrics, "Well, is it a gun? Is it a knife? Is it a wallet? This is your life. It ain't no secret, my friend. You can get killed just for living in your American skin."
You can get killed just for living in your American skin. 41 shots. 41 shots.
For Soul Rebel Radio, I am Soul Rebel, Lulu Kornspan.
Shots. Later gets her son ready for school. She says on these streets, child.